And we'll say good morning to you. We're broadcasting live of Movement Mortgage. We are here again on this Tuesday, October the 17th, 2017. And this is our 615th show. Very proud of that. Oh, this thing. There we go. 615th show, 68 days till Christmas. Again, we're live here at Movement Mortgage. We're going to be joined by Coach Strickland coming up here in just a few minutes, the girls soccer coach at Science Hill High School. Also, Kevin Harmon's going to join us coming up in a few minutes and tell us what is wrong, what is going down, what is wrong with Tennessee football. We'll get an exclusive chat with him about that. Also, a little bit later on to the show, we're going to be joined by some other folks as well, including Jeremy Livesey. Brian Malone's going to join us from Express Title and Closing. So all that coming up here, again, as we are on the road at Movement Mortgage, brand new location. Again, Jeremy Livesey, one of our great sponsors, his brand new office here in Boones Creek, right across from the Cracker Barrel. So we have lots to talk about. Another big night in Major League Baseball. How about the Yankees? And here comes the judge. He came up off the mat. Did he and the Yankees and put a whooping on the Houston Astros. We'll tell you all about that coming up again here as the show unfolds. Also, college football news. Got some NBA starting tonight. The National Hockey League, the Predators are on the ice tonight. So lots going on. And, of course, on the local scene, we've got a high school state volleyball action going on involving Tennessee High and AAA. And AA, the Sullivan South Lady Rebels, and Single A, the South Green Lady Rebels all playing. And, of course, also with Coach Strickland coming here in just a second, we have regional girls soccer play tonight at AAA and AA, so it is a big night sports-wise, and it's always a big day right here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Shows. We're here live, as we said, at Movement Mortgage. Here's the verse for the day. We unashamedly dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross, and here is the book out of the book of Psalms. You're my wonderful work. Don't ever forget that. You are not hidden from me, for I created you. I have ordained all your days. They're written in my book before the beginning of time. My thoughts are precious to you. They are more than all the grains of the sand. So that's the verse of the day to get us started in Psalms 139, verses 14 through 18. We'll take our first break. We'll come right back, and he's here. He's ready, and we're ready to get him on the show. Coach Strickland talking Science Hill girls soccer regional action tonight. We'll tell you all about that coming up next year as we're on the road at Movement Mortgage in Boones Creek on show number 615 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings. Everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live again at Movement Mortgage again in Boones Creek. Brand new dig. Smells new, is new. It's brand spanking new. It's a nice place, and it's right here across from Cracker Barrel in Boones Creek. And again, we'll be talking to Jeremy coming up here in just a few minutes. And let's go ahead and get him up on camera because you don't really need to see me because we want to talk to him. Him, of course, is Coach Strickland, and let's get him in right now. And boom, hit that. And I want to hit the right identifier at the bottom of the screen. And boom, there he is, Coach Strickland, the Science Hill Girls Soccer. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good today. It's good to be here at this new office.
Isn't this nice?
Yeah, it does smell new.
It does smell new. It is. I think it's only been open like 2 or 3 days. So, gosh, you've had a heck of a run. It continues into the regional. You got Knox West coming to town. So before we get into that, kind of recap how your season's gone so far.
Our season, we started off really strong, and then we got the injury bug pretty bad. We actually got down. We carried 20 players on our roster, and we got down to 12 at one point. But fortunately, right now we're back healthy again. We've got one of our strong seniors, Marin Gilmer, who was a transfer in this year, is coming back full on tonight. We've got 2 other players that are sophomores. Tegan is coming back in, and so is Sydney. Cindy Keenan, she's coming back in, which is good. Gives us more depth to be able to play with. So, we're looking strong again.
Which is what you want. DB goes to Bearden. Of course, you have Knox West. We'll talk about them in a moment. So, going forward, the 2 teams will play Thursday for the championship, and then what happens after that?
We win tonight. We host on Thursday. So, the winner of DB and Bearden would come to us. Win or lose on Thursday, the winner stays home to play on Saturday. The loser will travel to the team down in Knoxville that loses the regional finals. That's the round of 16. So Thursday's considered the round of 32. Then you drop into the round of 16, and all the winners on Saturdays go to Murfreesboro next week, the state finals.
Who more than likely would you see, or who's up to be seen on Saturday? Who's still alive in Knoxville?
I think Farragut is the one that's going to be very much strong in that area down there.
Talking to Coach Strickland, of course, you take them one at a time. Tonight, he's got Knox West coming to town. Obviously, a good squad. They wouldn't be where they are playing in the regional semifinals. So, what's the scouting report on the ladies from Knox West?
Well, fortunately, we played them in our tournament about 3 weeks ago. They do like to play the ball forward a lot. They've got a couple of pacey girls up front. Their coach Nick has them running pretty well. They're going to be a good side. Every team that gets to this point now, as I told our team, all the games are going to be good. Last Thursday we had 4 overtimes and penalty kicks to win it with Dobbins Bennett. And you go into the season and we beat them 3-0, 3-0, and then we end up tying in the finals. Well, you got to play every game. Mm-hmm. And Dobbins Bennett came out. They made some adjustments at half that kind of rattled some of our young girls. But we were able to fight back, and that's a nice thing. You get to reflect and grow off of games like that.
Do you feel like, again, you see on the screen, we're talking to Coach Strickland, the Science Hill Girls Soccer coach. We're live here at Movement Mortgage in Boones Creek, brand new location for our sponsor, Mr. Jeremy Livesey, and his great staff. And do you feel like your team has peaked?
No, I don't think we've peaked yet, which is the nice thing. Yes. I think we're still growing, and there's still a lot of good things coming. There's at times we are very, very exceptional playing, and we just have to continue that. From today, we're 6 games away from winning it all. So is everybody else involved. 6 games. So it's something we hang out to finish the job. It takes 24 games in a season. So all the girls know, there's 6 games. I have 4 seniors. I spoke of Marin Gilmer. I have Emma Heck. I have Tess Morozic, who's in goal. She was out for a few games too. And then I have Abby Knox, who is our center back, who's done exceptionally well this year. She's kind of the quiet player you don't hear a lot about, but every game she comes in and just gives you everything you need, does her job quietly, and just kind of goes about her way. But I know for these 4 girls, the 6 games are very important because they realize that, you know what, it's coming to an end.
Sure, absolutely.
It's coming to an end.
So would you define your team as like a lunch bucket team? They just come in and know blue collar, they know what they got to get done, and there's no frills, nothing fancy. They just get out there and gut it out.
No, I think my team is pretty technical. The thing about in this game, you have to have your blue collar workers, and they just do the dirty work for you. We've got a girl. Her name is Sydney Jordan. That's a sophomore, and she's banged in 16 goals for us this year. And she.
Wow.
You've got those players. You have players like Riley Cox, who is one of our juniors that sets up a lot of those goals. You've got, as I mentioned, Emma Hecht and Gracie Duncan, who do a lot of the work in the midfield for us. So, and we talk about this all the time. Everybody has a certain role that you play, but being unified, we need everybody to be accountable and stand up for yourself. So, Tess Morozic has been good in goal for us, very good in goal. We've kept it down. We've been scored on less than 13 times all season, which, when you're in game 18, that's pretty good. That's pretty good defending.
Yeah, needless to say. Before I let you go, again, you look at soccer as a whole here in the Metro Johnson City area. Obviously, Science Hill success is coming from somewhere. Is the Liberty Bell program? I mean, by the time you get them, obviously they're playing some pretty good soccer. So what's been the key to the success for the Science Hill girls soccer team, besides the fact you're a good coach? Is there a good feeder system in place in Johnson City?
There really is. We've got the group JCFC that Michael Smeltzer is involved in a lot, and also the group FC Dallas that Matt Berry is their director of coaching over there. And really that is the development time for the players. When they come to us in the high school, it's more of a tactical bringing a group together because our time is so short together and getting everybody moving in the same direction. All the mechanics of technique are involved in the club aspect. The one thing that we have is a tremendous strength program that, our AD went out and hired a strength trainer that was one of the graduates from ETSU's program, their sports science program. His name's Jackson Rudy, and he has been absolutely amazing in our programs. All of our athletic programs now have specific weight programs to our type of sport to help develop the athlete, to reduce injuries, to increase strength and explosiveness. And it's been really impressive. It really has. And, Stacy Carter was heavily involved in getting that also, as he and I both a couple of years ago experimented with having some interns come in from ETSU's program to do that with both football, and I had it with the soccer program. We both saw successes in it, and we took it to that next level.
And proof's in the pudding, as they say. So
yes.
You got Knox West coming tonight. What time is is it a game or match? I always hear both.
Nah, it just depends on who you talk to.
So
They both
game,
meet in the same.
All right,
Yeah.
Soccer match starts at what time?
Kickoff's at 7 o'clock at Science Hill Stadium.
Yep, Kermit Tipton Stadium. So you always have a good crowd up there. Of course, this is somebody's season. Somebody's going home to be done for tonight. So we obviously hope it's going to be Knox West. Last question is always, what's going to be the keys tonight for Science Hill to win this thing?
Our keys are going to be high pressing, winning the ball way high up the field, finishing our chances. The further along you get in games, the tighter they are, the less amount of chances you get. So being very, very good in and around the goal, and then just solid defending.
It's that simple. If you win, you come back Thursday night, take on either Bearden or Dobbins minutes. You're guaranteed 2 more if you win tonight.
Correct.
Yeah. Of course, we want more than that. We want a state championship. When was the last time somebody up here at Science Hill ever won a state championship in soccer?
Science Hill has not ever won a state championship. That's one thing that's eluded the program. They've been to the state tournament. It's been maybe 5 or 6 years since they've been in, The round of 16 has been a stumbling block the last couple of years. But as I say, there's no shame being in the round of 16. But it's time to move on and put your stamp and get in the round of 8, because then it's, the draw. Sometimes a little bit of luck, and before you know it, you can find yourself in the semifinals and in the finals.
Time to kick that door down, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. And hopefully this is the year we're going to do it.
Hope so, too.
Yep.
Sky's Class Act. I know you're a busy man at your day job, and appreciate you coming by. Good luck tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again Friday morning on the phone that you're hosting either DB or Bearden for the regional championship. That's the goal.
That'd be great.
Yep. So thank you, my friend.
Yep. Thanks for your show. It's always good.
Yep. Good man right there. Quick break. We'll be right back. Got more to talk about. We're live here at Movement Mortgage in Boones Creek on show number 615. They laughed at me and said it wouldn't work. A sports show on the internet and Facebook. 615. That's all I can tell you. We'll be right back with the Tom Davis Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live again at Movement Mortgage again on this beautiful, beautiful fall Tuesday. And so we are down to 600 and I'm sorry, not 615. That's our show number. We're at 68 shopping days, or 68 days to Christmas. So let's take a look at state volleyball, and also the high school football polls are out this week. And state volleyball play, they are playing today. AAA volleyball at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Tennessee High will take on Siegel at Blackman High School in Metro Murfreesboro, Nashville. In AA volleyball, Sullivan South, the Lady Rebels playing this morning against East Hamilton at Siegel High School. That began at 10:30, so certainly good luck. They're playing as we speak. The Lady Rebels of Wendy Ratliff. And then in single A, South Green also playing as we speak. They're taking on Watertown. That's at Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro as well. So South and AA playing East Hamilton as we speak. South Green playing Watertown as we speak. And then later on this afternoon, Tennessee High, the AAA team from our neck of the woods, they're playing Siegel. And that'll be at Blackman High School today. So good luck to all three teams. We'll let you know how they do coming up tomorrow on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll be live at Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. High school football polls are out this week. 6A football, Murfreesboro, Oakland at number 1 of the state. No one from our neck of the woods is in the 6A polls. 5A Beach at number 1. And you have Daniel Boone ranked number 8 in the state. They go up a notch, number 8. In 4A football, Greenville number 1. Elizabethton drops down to number 6 in the state this week. In 3A football, Alcoa number 1, and you have Johnson County rock solid at number 3 in the state in 3A football. In 2A, Meigs County at number 1, and the Sullivan North Golden Raiders in at number 10 in the state this week. And in single A, South Pittsburgh number 1, Cloudland in at number 9. So that's our local entries into the statewide high school football polls this week. Let's run down who's playing where. Again, Thursday night, Unaka takes on Hampton, one of those Carter County backyard brawls at Hampton on Thursday night. Friday night, Cherokee at Tennessee High, Claiborne at Cumberland Gap, Cloudland at Johnson County, Cobb County, Morristown East, the Musket Bowl in Gray, Crockett at Daniel Boone, more on that one in a moment, Granger at Greenville, Happy Valley, the Warriors play at West Green, Hardin Valley will be at Bearden, Science Hill hosting Jefferson County Friday night, Jellicoe at Cosby, Morristown West will be at J. Fred Johnson Stadium to battle Dobbins Bennett, Sullivan Central at Union County, Sullivan North at Sullivan East. The big one in our neck of the woods, for my money anyway, Sullivan South will be in Elizabeth to battle the Cyclones for second place in the 4A conference, and behind, of course, front-running Greenville. Twin Springs and North Green. The open dates this week include Unicoi County, Volunteer, Chucky Doak, Farragut, and South Green all have the week off in Tennessee. In Virginia, the Abington Falcons will be at Ridgeview, Castlewood at J.I. Burton, Eastside at Joe Howley, Gate City, the Blue Devils will be at John Battle to battle the Trojans, Lehigh will be at Wise Central, Twin Valley at Rye Cove, and the open dates in Virginia this week are Union and Thomas Walgren. So that's a look at high school football and volleyball. And again, the soccer coming up tonight. You have the AAA soccer semifinals, Dobbins Bennett at Bearden, and Knox West, as we just talked to Coach Strickland, will be here in Johnson City to take on Science Hill at 7 o'clock tonight at Kermit Tipton Stadium, as we said, here in Johnson City. So good luck to those folks. Back to the Crockett situation for just a second, and we'll take a break. We've got my man in here. We're going to talk a little Tennessee football. My man's in the house, Kevin Harmon. But here is the very latest. And so new Crockett interim football coach Nick Lingerfield says he stepped up and volunteered for this position to help the kids finish the winning season they started. So Crockett's newest interim coach is not a stranger to the sidelines. The Pioneers baseball coach spent last season as a football assistant with Graham Clark at Dobbins Bennett. He's had previous experience in Unicoi County. He replaces the interim coach Brandon Qualls, who was suspended because of how do you say this? I'll read what the superintendent has here in just a second. But basically, conduct not what she wanted. How about that? And so he's been let go. And, of course, he took over the reins last week when Gerald Sensabaugh was placed on administrative leave. And so the latest coaching move will be coming up with the backyard, big ball game, backyard battle between Crockett and Boone, the Musket Bowl. Lingerfield will keep assistant coach Dustin Gaines on his staff moving forward. And so, will Sensabaugh be back? He will not be back this Friday night for sure. I know the superintendent said they have to work through the investigation, which they are doing. And so here's the story right here. Let's get this for you, because this is worth talking about. Then we'll take the break, and we'll talk a little Tennessee football. Qualls dismissed after failing to comply with the administration's directive to unite the players. is exactly how it's been worded here in the story. Lingerfeld was hired 3 months ago to be the Pioneer head baseball coach. He said there's two options for this football program. You can cancel the season and deal with the TSSAA, which included possible postseason sanctions against the basketball program, or find somebody to coach the team. See, this is me talking, but when you punish another sport, that is just nuts. For the TSSAA to come in and say, okay, since football, if they're going to quit the season, we're going to punish basketball. That's, to me, just stupid. I don't get that at all. I don't know. I guess, to me, if you're going to punish somebody, you would punish the football team next year. You don't punish the basketball team for what the football team did or didn't do. That makes no sense. But apparently it's not going to happen because Lingerfeld stepped up and said, I'm going to coach his team. He will bring in a new coach, Darrell Lewis, who coached at Burns High School in Duncan, South Carolina, for a program that has won 8 state championships since 2002. Lingerfeld says he has 2 rules in place. We're going to love each other, that's one. And 2, if a player speaks to anybody in the media, he has to get approval from his friend and coach, which is me. And I agree with that. I think it's the way it should be. The kids ought to go through somebody. There should be a gatekeeper from a media standpoint with high school kids. I don't think there's any problem with that at all. He believes the players are ready for practice. The team will continue to use the designs already in place. Lingerfeld said he will not receive any financial compensation for finishing out the season as the head football coach. At the end of the season, he will return as the baseball coach, and the Pioneers will once again be in the market for a football coach. Superintendent Halliburton said once the investigation is concluded, she will then make a decision about Gerald Sensabaugh's future, and then, if necessary, the job will be posted for a new coach. Peggy Wright, the Crockett principal, said the best case scenario for this week is for the community to come together, and she's right because it's the biggest game of the year. Everybody in Washington County circles the schedule when they see when they're going to be playing Boone or when Boone's going to be playing Crockett. It's just there. It's like Tennessee, Alabama this week, Florida, Florida State, the Iron Bowl, Auburn, Alabama. Any rivalry you want to come up with, Michigan, Ohio State, you circle the calendar for the Musket Bowl, and this week it'll be at Boone, and it'll be a very emotional game and a chance for Crockett to kind of rise up after a tough week last week and a loss to a good Tennessee High team to bounce back and play their cross-county rivalry and see how it goes with the Musket Bowl. So Nick Lingerfeld, the new coach for the rest of the season for the Crockett Pioneers, which is 2 more games. Of course, this week and next week is the regular season finale. Crockett is in the position at this point. They're still hanging on to a playoff spot, and so that's the goal, is to get this team to the next round, and so we'll see if that in fact happens coming up again this week. Now, the picking panel, Raymond Tankersley of Kingsport wins it again, $25. Here's the picking panel for this week that you'll be picking. All you got to do is go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest and put your name in there, and all you got to do is very simple. You pull up the picking panel, boom, there it is, TomTaylorSports.com/football. Here are the games you're picking this year, or this week rather, not this year, but this week, and there's some good ones, there always are. High school, South Elizabethton. Cherokee at Tennessee High, of course the Musket Bowl, Crockett at Boone, Cloudland at Johnson County, that's going to be a barn burner, and then Sullivan North at Sullivan East. Those are the 5 games we're picking this week for the high school. The college picks, got some dandies. Michigan at Penn State, Southern Cal at Notre Dame, Oklahoma State at Texas, Kentucky on the road to Mississippi State, and Louisville and Tallahassee to battle Florida State. So go there, first name, last name, town you're from, and then, of course, your email address so we can get a hold of you if you won. Raymond Tankersley of Kingsports won $25 back-to-back weeks. So he's going to try and defend his crown again this week because he's a 2-time winner, and that's pretty impressive. And, folks say $25, hey, $25, isn't it? It's a tank of gas, it's a dinner somewhere, it's whatever. So anyway, quick break. We'll come right back. We'll jump in and talk to my man about Tennessee football. What is wrong in Knoxville? How do they right the ship? Can they right the ship? We'll talk to Kevin Harmon coming up next. We're live at Movement Mortgage. Then we'll be joined by Jeremy Livesey and Brian Malone and some other folks as we're here in Boones Creek at the brand new digs, and it's nice too. Still smells new because it is new. I mean, the paint's fresh, carpeting's new, it's good. It's a brand new location for Jeremy Livesey and the folks at Movement Mortgage here on show number 615 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are live again here at Movement Mortgage. Go to JeremyLivesey.com and check it out because he's got some new digs. And there's my man right there on the screen, Kevin Harmon, talking Tennessee football. And we're going to get Jeremy coming in here in just a minute, talking about Movement Mortgage, where we are here. We are right smack dab. And, of course, I don't know how he won't gain a lot of weight because you look right out the window here to see the Cracker Barrel about 100 yards across the parking lot. So, that's for some serious good chow is consumed on a daily basis. And so we're right beside the Cracker Barrel in Boones Creek here, Movement Mortgage, and he has moved, and obviously Jeremy Hess has come on to this new company and is wearing it out. And Kevin Harmon stopped by. Appreciate you, my friend, stopping. And he has his pulse on the Tennessee football program. Of course, we will hear from him coming up some more on Thursday night during the preview of the Alabama football game on the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show on Thursday. But just the overall, first off, thanks for stopping by. I know you're very busy with your day job, and so take a step back. Overall, this program's okay. This program's in shambles. What adjective would you use to describe Tennessee football right now?
A mess.
Mess.
It's a mess.
All right.
It's a mess.
Has he lost the team?
You know, I don't know. I mean,
from everything you're hearing to your sources down there.
You hear both ways that there is a divide in the locker room between the older players and the younger players. It seems like he's made a lot of promises that he couldn't keep because of the competitive nature of football players, and he's talked a lot of kids out of quitting and brought them back and put them in starting spots, and And he's had other kids transfer. I think that it's really kind of fallen down on him, and what we can look back and see is that Dobbs and Kamara and Malone and a lot of those seniors, or those upperclassmen that came through last year and the last 2 years, really held this team together with their athletic ability and their leadership. They're gone, and no one has really stepped up to fill that void, and I really don't know if Butch Jones has cultivated anybody to step up and fill that void. There's a lot of holes on this football team, especially offensively. Defense is doing okay, but they're staying on the field way too long. So it's eating its own self. It's like a consuming bacteria. There's nothing going right.
But you go back to what you said, and I understand, but it's the brick by brick, and it's the rah, and all the stuff we hear, all the cliches, and to me, he's over-cliched. I've said it since day one. Just talk to me. Don't hit me with the cliches, just talk to me. But so you're hearing that all the time. So apparently what I'm hearing from you is not necessarily are the players buying into it. They're hearing it. They see it for what it is, but maybe not totally sold out on it.
Well, I think a lot of coaches use cliches and championships of life and all this thing. I believe a lot of them do it, but the difference is those guys usually win football games and they can say what they want to say. Nick Saban said stuff like that, but he can say, well, he said today Tennessee should be 5-1. They're 2 plays away from it. Yeah, well, yeah, he's right, but he's kind of overlooking. But he's Nick Saban. The cliches get a little old when you lose, and especially with a place like Tennessee where the facilities are what they are, the fan base is what it is, the stadium is what it is, and the tradition is what it is. People don't want to hear that. But I don't, it gets a little old, but what it's come to look like is that's just kind of, he's not comfortable with himself. And he goes to these cliches and he goes to these sayings, and as opposed to coaching, and thinks that people will buy into these sayings, and this is what we're going to do, and we'll build it brick by brick. But there's no plan really behind the brick by brick. I mean, he had it rolling, but then when the South Carolina, you can look back and there's a lot of indicators, and to me, the Florida game when we wouldn't run the football inside the 10-yard line with John Kelly in our backfield really let me know that he's not making very good game day decisions. You can go back to last year's South Carolina loss. We come off a home open week, and I was at that game, and we just laid an egg in Columbia, and it cost us the Sugar Bowl, and then we lose to Vanderbilt and give up 45 points. We really lost control of the team then, and to really almost to look back and to expect this team, losing who we lost, to come through and to improve and contend for the conference championship was just fool's gold. And another problem you have is you look at James Franklin, you look at Kirby Smart, and you look at some of the other coaches who were in year 2, year 3, or year 4, who have built their teams into championship contenders with not much more talent than what we have. So everyone sort of feels that Butch is he's lost control in the respect he doesn't really know what he's doing at this level to maintain a long-term winning program that Tennessee expects.
Butch Jones making $4.1 million. The contract runs through February of 2021. His buyout states that if he's fired without cause, UT would owe him $2.5 million times the number of full contract years remaining in his contract, which is a chunk of change, almost to the tune of $9 million.
Right.
The Volunteers have averaged just 9.7 points in 3 Southeastern Conference games, including the loss to South Carolina. So, again, situational football, it keeps going back to. Tennessee settled for field goals on 2 other first and goal situations against South Carolina, continuing the Vols' season-long inability to deliver near the goal line. Tennessee tied for a 111th in the country in red zone offense. So kickers hurt. Aaron Medley will miss an extended period of time. They got Brent
Smaglia.
Smaglia is going to be your kicker.
He did very well.
Defensive end Darrell Taylor remains suspended, will miss his 2nd consecutive game, so it goes on and on. I was looking at the numbers here for the Tennessee football team. They have the lowest scoring. They've scored 29 points in 3 conference games. It's the lowest in the entire Southeastern Conference. And then they've scored 130 in their, they've played 6 football games so far. 130 points is, again, the lowest scoring of any team in either conference in the Southeastern Conference. Unacceptable. We can go on, but the bottom line is John Curry's in a pickle.
Yeah, he is.
New athletic director, because, all right, if they go down and get hammered, they're a 34.5-point underdog to Alabama.
It's the largest in my lifetime. I've been watching 50 years.
34-point underdog to
That's
Alabama
incredible.
coming up Saturday. And so, yeah, I just had that stat here. I want to read it in just a second.
They've had 27 first downs the last 10 quarters. That's 2 a quarter.
Yeah. So we can go
2.7.
on and on. But here's your season. Alabama at Kentucky, Southern Miss at Missouri, LSU, Vanderbilt. Let's see. Butch Jones, let me take that one step further. Tennessee's never been that much of an underdog since at least 1980. Tennessee's most prohibitive underdog status during that stretch up until now was in 2011 when Alabama beat the Vols 37-6 as a 30-point favorite. So 34.5-point underdog. That's not good, obviously. That doesn't take a rocket scientist to come up with that one. So,
no.
So let's do devil's advocate here. They go down there Saturday and get another Georgia game. They just roll over and get hammered. Then, what do you do at that point? You just
I think the die is cast. I think he's going to make a change. I don't believe Butch Jones will coach in 2018. I would bet $100 million. Well, I don't have $100 million, but I just don't believe that's going to happen. He doesn't have the he's just made critical hire and bad hire after bad hire, and things have just not worked out. And I don't believe that Curry will bring him back. So I guess the point is now is what do you do in the meantime? And you've got the ability. You let him coach out. You stick an interim in there. I think Curry has to have his finger on the pulse to know if is the recruiting class falling apart, is the locker room falling apart, exactly what's going on down there. And you don't hear a whole lot that's come out from the AD's office, which I think is good, which means that things are going on. You don't have a lot of leaks, so he's obviously got a pretty tight-knit group. But yeah, everybody's watching to see what he does. You got some fans that want him gone now. You got some that understand letting him just play the year out, knowing that we're Tennessee. We've been football for 121 years. We're going to be okay in the long run. But you got to make the hire correct. You got to get somebody in here that can take this thing to where it needs to be, considering the investment that Tennessee has in their facilities, the fan base, the whole thing around football. It's the engine that drives that school. So this is a critical hire. So I'm not going to really criticize him on when he lets loans, when he doesn't, and all this. I know the buyout plays into it, and there's a lot of moving parts to picking a new coach. You got, the boosters, you got the board of trustees, you got the president, and you got the athletic director. This isn't something he's going to do in a vacuum. So, he has to come up with a plan, and then he has to get the Peyton Mannings of the world on board with that plan, and then take that plan to the guys who have the money, of which Peyton Manning is one of them, and then sell that plan, and then follow through with it, and get his guy. That's the big key here. He's got to get a coach.
What you said earlier was interesting. You were talking to Kevin Harmon. Coming up, Brian Malone's going to join us from Express Title and Closing. Also, Jeremy Livingston is going to join us. We're talking about Tennessee football, as you see on the screen. You say he keeps making bad hires. Now, this is the second round of hires. He had some come on originally, and he's let some of those guys go, so he brought in some more. So, and I'm not on a Butch Jones witch hunt. I'm just, all I see, because I'm not even a Tennessee, I'm from West Virginia. I'm a Marshall guy, so, but I'm here in Tennessee, and it's obviously a focal point of where we are as a athletic following in this state. So my question to you is, can the guy not, has he just had a streak of bad luck hiring the wrong people, or he just doesn't know how to hire people? Because he's got people down there that obviously don't know, it would appear, don't know from the football purists will tell me they don't know what they're doing. I've even heard after this Saturday, if they cover the spread, Alabama beats them by 34 or more, the jerk him out of there and put Brady Hoke, the guy that used to be the head coach of Michigan, he's on staff, and put him in there, and the season is sunk, as it is anyway, I think, for all intents and purposes. You're not going to beat Alabama. I'm not sure you're going to beat Kentucky up there. If he's lost to Clubhouse, I had Aaron Ferguson on yesterday. The guy was Tom at All-State, 2-time All-American at Marshall, knows the game, and he said, Tom, if any coach in any sport, if you lose the locker room, and you lose the coach loses you, if they check out on you, I don't care who you are, you ain't going to get them back. And he said it would appear, and that's what I'm hearing, what you said you're hearing and watching the body language in Knoxville, that the team has checked out on him. So, going forward, this is not about Butch Jones. This is about Tennessee football. So in the long run, you got to do what's best for the program.
Right.
And I don't know whether you leave the guy in or not. You talk him into taking a smaller buyout, and go write you a check, send you on your way. I mean, there's lots of options. But here comes this guy from Kansas State, comes to town, and he's got Butch Jones and he's got Holly Warlick. He's got lots of things he's got to deal with. But first and foremost, this football program. So if you're Curry, I'm going to put it on you. If you're John Curry, and you go into the Alabama week, you're 34-point underdogs, you go down and get hammered. Or let's say you play them toe-to-toe and it ends up being a 10-7 game or whatever, and there's a glimpse of something against the number one team in the country.
Well, I think if it's a toe-to-toe 10-7 game and we play our hearts out, then, we haven't lost the locker room, and, I'll let him continue to coach. If we get smoked, which is very possible, and it's very embarrassing, Saturday was embarrassing. You saw it happening, and if we get smoked, then it's tough. You'd like to see him let's just take him out and let's just start over and let's get the season done, and let's move on. And you got the buyout. Tennessee just came through all that, paying Dooley and Fulmer and all these other guys.
Kiffin,
Pearl. I don't know if they had to pay Kiffin, but they had to pay Bruce Pearl, and so they finally got this thing back in stable waters and smooth waters, and now you're looking at another, not just Butch Jones's buyout, but the assistant coach's buyout. So you've got a $14 million price tag looking at you. Tennessee's got the boosters that can do it. Jimmy Haslam's got a net worth of $3.10 billion or something like that. I mean, it can be done. But, those guys in return for doing that, want some say in what's going to happen. So, if I'm him, if I'm sitting here and it's a close game, then I'll let Butch Jones go until we absolutely fall apart, but I keep working behind the scenes to get me a coach. If they get absolutely blasted and it's obvious, then we just have to make a change. That's how I feel. But I trust him. I mean, as a Tennessee fan, you have to trust your athletic director, who is a Tennessee graduate, to make the right call. I mean, he has to be invested enough and know what it means to the fans and bottom line, to the money involved. When people, when 20 minutes before kickoff Saturday, I thought it was going to be half full. The student section was 90% empty, and then people filed in. I know it's a 12 o'clock kickoff, but people filed in at the last minute, and you had a decent crowd, but they left, fourth quarter, and I mean, we almost pulled it out, but you knew we didn't deserve to pull it out, and it would have been a miracle if we had. But it was amazing what happened once they kind of let Garantano go and throw the football. You saw his arm strength, you saw his accuracy, and he didn't think about it. He just made plays. And I watched Ty Chandler make the long run, and Garantano gets out of the box and makes a block. And, he's pumped up. He's wanting to play. He's got a lot of passion. So, we're not, I don't think it's going to take a whole, there is talent here. There's more talent here than when Jones took over. He hasn't done a good job of recruiting. We have talent on this team. So I think it's an attractive job. And he'll get a good coach, but now it's just, how do we get there and what's the best way? And then in this situation, I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. It's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, lots of variables.
And it's easy a year from now to go back and look and say, well, you should have done this. Just like we can look back now and say, well, Larry Scott wasn't probably a good hired offensive coordinator. Never been one before. We thought at the time, this guy's ready. He can do it. He can step up. Well, he's getting his lunch eaten. And he's got talent, but it's not very well coached. And they can't make plays. And
those are two bad things. They're not very well coached. They can't make plays.
Other than that, they're doing pretty good.
Oh, they're having a heck of a year. Yeah. Kevin Harmon, again, talking Tennessee football, man. I appreciate you coming by very, very much. And
you're welcome.
We will get a in-depth preview of the Alabama Crimson Tide Tennessee game coming up.
Next week we can go over some coaches, see what coaches are out there.
Yeah. Well, if they go down and get beat and Alabama covers the spread, I will be willing to bet we'll have a new coach in there. There'll be one gone. I just don't
the only downside is that there are bettors out there from Alabama that's going to put money on Alabama, and there is pressure to make the spread. So My guess would be 45-3 or 42-3 or 42-0. Alabama's going to have a little bit of pride and say, well, they're not going to score on us, and if they don't want us to score, we won't score, unless we just throw a bomb and somebody falls down, and I just don't see it.
Kevin Harmon talking Tennessee football. Talk to you Thursday night. Again, we'll get a preview of the Alabama Crimson Tide in depth on our Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Great job. Thank you, my friend. I'll talk to you Thursday night. Quick break. We'll be right back. We are live here at Movement Mortgage. We'll come right back and talk to my man Brian Malone talking baseball. Let it get his take on Tennessee football, what all's going on right now. Got some big games coming up this week in college football. All that coming up next. And then the man, the myth, the legend, Jeremy Livesey's in the house. We'll talk to him a little bit later on. He, of course, is the man, the catalyst behind his new move, and his staff, and they're doing a fantastic job already closing homes left and right. We'll tell you how he can help you. And also we'll let Brian even sing a little bass about his express title closing next here on show number 615 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which...
It's a shame because, with what Boston started there, getting us a little bit of pride building that football team. And then, obviously, since Bond knows what he's doing coaching-wise, it's a shame. Yeah, it does. I mean, he's right about Jonesboro Elementary. They have partitions and the kids can't study. Yeah, I mean, they can't. But I remember going to see my nephew for taking a lunch or whatever, and he's in that class, the music class right next door. Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Baylor Sports Show, there he is, Brian Malone with Express Title and Closing. We're live at Movement Mortgage in Boones Creek, again, right across from the Cracker Barrel, brand new location. And we'll talk to Jeremy, the owner, coming up here in just a second. Jeremy, and of course, Miss Kasem and a brand new employee they brought on board. Let him tell you all about that. Won't steal his thunder. But here's a guy, we had him on a couple of weeks ago, did such a great job talking sports. I want to get him back on, and we'll let him talk about his company here in a moment. But Kevin just left talking Tennessee football. You are a very passionate Tennessee football fan. Got to ask you the same questions. What's your take on what's going on in Knoxville, and what's the remedy, and is there light at the end of the tunnel?
No, there's not, unfortunately. Right now, I heard you and Kevin finishing off there at the end, and he's right on point. He's lost a locker room, and once you do that, he's done. And I don't understand what they're waiting on. I think it would be better to cut him now and hopefully save the recruiting process than it would to hold on and make everybody wonder what they're going to do. Because we lost 2 good recruits after the Georgia blowout, and then we've lost another one last week, 4-star running back. And Georgia, they're on fire. They're scooping these kids up right and left, and then now we're losing them right and left, and they're coming out of Georgia and Florida where we need to be getting them from. So I just don't think it's a good situation either way. I personally hate they're waiting till the end. There's no good remedy. The season's gone. I don't think they'll win at Kentucky. We'll be lucky to get out Vanderbilt, with a win. We should beat Missouri, Lord hope. But I just don't see why wait and do it. Let the recruits know that they're trying to make a play for something good and go. But then on the flip side, you look, if we're not going to release the money and get somebody in here, why do we not keep him and build what we got? I mean, if mediocre football's where we're going to be, he's probably a good man for the job. He's got us where we wanted. He got us out of the tunnel, Yeah. But if we're not going to open the pocketbooks and get somebody in here, that will turn this thing around and take it to the next level. And I ain't gonna say turn it around. I just mean take it farther. But I like the hire when he came in. I like what he's done, but I think he's just come as far as he can go. He's peaked. He is, and his hiring process that's ultimately done him in. He's made some terrible hires at offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator both. Support staff, things like that have really done him in.
How do you misjudge talent? I guess that when you said it, and Kevin said he made some bad hires, this is his second batch. So either he can't judge talent, he can't judge coaching, or somebody gave him some bad advice, or he didn't do a thorough investigation of the coaches. But we keep going back to he made bad hires, and that's all on him. How do you make bad hires, not one time, but this is the second cycle of bad hires?
I think, especially on the offensive coordinator position, I think they waited too long on this one because they let everybody good go somewhere else before they got Larry Scott. We didn't know what they were going to do or anything else, and several other coaches got picked up in the meantime. And the money thing comes into it as well. I think that Butch is making $4 million a year, and the athletic director and the staff, football board of directors, whoever it is, has got to let go of that money to pay an offensive, coordinator position to come in here. That's what they said. When Gruden wouldn't come, it was because they wouldn't have enough money. That was the rumor, of course, the groomer, I guess you could say, that they wouldn't release the money. They'd pay him what he wanted, but they wouldn't give him money for his assistants. And it's a win-win type thing. You look at the money the big name assistants have made. Look what Kirby Smart was making before he left and went to Georgia. Look what Muschamp was making as coordinator. They're making big money, and that's what it's going to take to get these big name people in here.
Here's his buyout. His contract goes through February 28, 2021. His buyout states, on my Butch Jones, if he's fired without cause, so there's the key, without cause, UT would owe him $2.5 million times the number of full contract years remaining on his contract. So right now it's 17. He's got 4 full years left, or 3.5 full years left. So you're talking anywhere between $6.5 to $9 million, depending on how much they want to push it. Fired without cause. The other part of this too is, if you can him, you'll more than likely send his staff on their way. You got to buy them out too.
Correct.
So you can't. It's not just Butch Jones; it's everybody else that's going to get a little cut of the action too. So it gets quite expensive. So so we got Jeremy Livesey, 5-star football recruit, sitting out there. He's been heavily recruited. We'll use Jeremy as an example. He's a fleet runner. They call him the road runner. He's so fast. So this guy is heavily recruited. He's watching everything unfold here at Tennessee. He is verbally committed to Tennessee. See, to me, he's the key. If these recruits start decommitting, they've already done 2 more this past weekend. Then, if you keep waiting, like you said, you made a great point. If you keep waiting and you don't get rid of this guy because he's underperforming the teams, in the tank, then for the future, you put yourself back even further, because the Jeremy Liveseys are not going to come to Tennessee.
Correct.
And all these other SEC coaches are going, Jeremy, you don't want to go to Tennessee. They don't even know who's on first. They don't know who's going to be there. You're a running back, or they're going to bring a guy in that's going to be a passing coach. You better come to our place. So the longer they wait, I think it's very detrimental to the program.
Absolutely. I agree completely. I think that like, that's a great point. LSU did the exact right thing in that situation, and we're in the same boat. Yeah, you follow that lead, because they give these kids some hope out there. Okay, Tennessee's going to fix this. The kids didn't fall in. I mean, to a certain extent, I guess they did fall in love with Butch Jones and whoever or whatever. But the main reason is it's Tennessee football. I don't care who you are, where you are. Tennessee football has that tradition. The Neyland Stadium. The running through the tee. That's the thing the kids fell in love with. In the program. So while we'll take a chance on losing them, when we can at least buy them time, to say, okay, they're going to fix this, so let's go ahead and go there. They've made a great hire, or at least let them decide, okay, no, he's not right for me, I don't want to go there. But let's don't lose them on the chance of well, maybe we do, maybe we don't fix, right the ship and things, because I just don't, like you said earlier, I heard you say, the season's all but lost, in my opinion, at this point.
All the names on the table. You're John Curry, the athletic director. Everybody is a potential candidate to be the head coach of Tennessee. You've got the checkbook. You got the support of the boosters. You got a list of names. Give me the top 3 guys that Brian Malone would go after if you're the AD of Tennessee, whether they're currently coaching somewhere else, they're retired, they're sitting on the sideline, whatever the case may be. It's anybody. We got to fix this ship. We made a couple of bad hires here with Kiffin and Dooley and now Butch Jones. We got to stop looking in the rearview mirror, go forward. I want the best guy for the job. Money's not an object. Who would you give me 3 you'd go after?
In memory of my old buddy Worley Head, I got to go with Gruden as number 1. He'd be number 1 to come in, because he recruiting wise would be outstanding. The quarterbacks would love to come get coached by him. Any receivers know, if the quarterbacks come, the receivers are going to follow. So we'll get back to the wide receiver tradition or whatever. I like Bob Stoops back from Oklahoma. Bring him over. I like his possibilities of what he can do in a short amount of time. That's the thing everybody keeps saying, oh, Butch has only had 5 years. Well, Butch has had, he's got 2 full recruiting classes, or more, 3 now, I guess, full recruiting classes on the sidelines, and he's not developing them. So don't give me that garbage about, he ain't had time, because you look at Miami, Rick's only been down there 2 years, and they're wearing it out right now.
Kirby Smart.
I mean, yeah, so don't give me the time, he needs more time. That's not a thing. Look, Penn State was in much worse shape than we were ever in, when Franklin got up there, and look at where they're at. So
Is that a coach you'd go after, Penn State?
Yeah, it would probably be my third one, maybe. Yeah. I mean, look what he's done when he had out, when he was at Vanderbilt and then went to Penn State. Both they were on the upswing both ways. So I think he's a good recruiter. I think he's got a great mind for the game. So I do. It would be close between him and Chip Kelly. I think I like Chip Kelly too. So it would be. I'd have to sit down and talk to them both, I think, and see which one for number 3 spot.
Keep hearing Venables, the defensive coordinator, Clemson. I don't know. I mean, you want somebody. I think Tennessee wants somebody. Well, they want somebody who's going to win, but I think they want the exciting, wide open, run and gun offense and scoring points.
Not just that, but it's me as the fan that I want somebody proven for a change. It doesn't make, yeah, he's a great guy. He's a young guy. He's an up-and-comer. Definitely will be a head coach somewhere someday. But is that time now for Tennessee? I don't think so. I think we've tried that boat, with Butch. He had proven himself in a mid-major level, but never in a major level. You get to the SEC, and that's, it's a whole different ballgame. So I just think it's time to get somebody proven, get a name in there, somebody that's proved herself, and we know what they can do, where they've been. So I just don't think a new guy's the way to go right now.
Talking to Brian Malone with Express Title and Closing. Switching gears, again, Jeremy's going to join us coming up in a few minutes from Movement Mortgage. And switching total gears, Major League Baseball, Yankees had the stat yesterday, when you're down 2-0 in a series, there's an 84% likelihood you're going to lose that series. The Yankees proved that wrong with what they did with Cleveland, and here they come right out of the chute last night, come back home, put the hammer on the Astros at Yankee Stadium. Judge hits a mammoth home run, makes a big-time defensive catch. CC Sabathia looks like the CC Sabathia of old. So now it's Lance McCullers tonight against, I think Gray's going to be your starter tonight for the Yankees. Tell me about that series. And, of course, the Dodgers and the Cubs, they shift from L.A. to Wrigley Field tonight. So what's your take on these two series?
I think the Yankees. They'll drag it out. They're not going to go away quietly. We all know that. And I mean, that's history. And Drew, they've got the talent to take it where it goes. And I really think the Astros pull it out depth wise and win that one. But it'll be a 6 or 7 gamer for sure. The Dodgers, I think, will take that against the Cubs. They got the pitching, they got the hitting, even with the shortstop being out. If they still got enough talent to take it.
And I'm going to fuss at the Major League Baseball folks, and they're not going to hear me, but I'm going to fuss anyway. Well, they may hear me. You never know. I'm out there on the internet, but here it is, the 2 big games of the year, and they're both playing at the same time.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing.
Last week we had them staggered afternoon and night. So tonight, Houston, McCullers at New York against Gray, 8:08, and then you turn right, or is that 5:08? Wait a minute, I may be making a mistake. Is it? I'll take it back. Didn't have my glasses on. It's 5:08. My bad. They play the early game, so take it off the table. The second game will be, when you get old, you got to put these glasses on. Darvish for the Dodgers and Kyle Hendricks will be for the Cubbies at 9:08, which that's too late, but it is what it is. TV drives the bus. So you have the early game. I'll take it back. They're not playing side by side. Houston and New York at 5:08, and then you have tonight, second game, Dodgers and the Cubbies at 9:08, and what should be a pretty cold Wrigley Field in Chicago, and of course it'll be cold in New York too at 5 o'clock as the sun goes down, or cooler. So you're liking who and who now? You liking the?
I like the Dodgers and Astros. I think the Dodgers win. I think the Dodgers win it all. I just think they've got too much pitching and depth offensively too to win it.
Express Title and Closing. Tell me about it.
Express Title and Closing. We have 2 offices in Johnson City. 2 offices, I guess. One in Johnson City, one in Kingsport. So I should split that up. We do turnaround closings for any refinancing on your mortgage, any home purchase. We come to you. We declare our thing is any place, anytime. We'll come to you and close. It doesn't matter the day, or time, or hour. We'll be there to do it. Take care in or location. We service Tennessee and Virginia. We go all the way. I mean, we've been to Wise in the past week, and things go. And just for a fast, quick turnaround, we're hard to beat. We work close with Jeremy here at Movement Mortgage. We have an online calculator for the realtors and the mortgage people to look at, where they can go right on there and figure out their own costs and stuff without having to get a quote, wait on us to get a quote back to them. They can go right on there and figure it up by themselves. We're quick to answer questions that any mortgage company may have, or any, I guess Jeremy likes me throwing his name out there like that, doesn't he? But any mortgage company may have, or realtor, either one, we can get back to you real quick and get your question answered and get you closed out. We've got some great girls in the office that handle things, and a couple decent guys, I guess, up there too. But I'm out on the road each day, promoting and turning realtors toward movement. God, Jeremy, there he is again, toward express title and closings, and so I really am blessed to be here, and I really enjoy it.
So describe the market right now: cool, warm, red hot.
It's warm. It's come down a little bit. Let's see, where we in? We're in October now. In September, we had 62 requests for title searches, so it's really, that was a good month. The month before wasn't very good at all, so it's warm. The inventory's still real low. House prices are creeping up, so it's warm. There's still buyers out there, but it's just got to be the right home for the right person.
Yeah, and typically holidays will slow it down a little bit, but again, we're still ahead of other markets in the country, so we're going to enjoy those other places that are just really struggling. So,
yeah, this is true.
Yep. Express Title and Closing website again is
expresstc.com.
expresstc.com. A little closer to home before I let you go. Buccaneers are off this week, but Coach Torbush and those guys, they're slowly turning the corner in that program.
I agree 100%. I'm really excited about what he's doing and his guys up there. I've watched several of the games online, bits and pieces at least, and the effort they put out is always 100%, looks to me like, and I think he's doing a great job of building a program from scratch.
Oh yeah. So Coach Torbush, they're off this week. They've got 5th ranked Wofford coming to town next week, so it doesn't get any easier for them.
No, it doesn't.
Shows how good the Southern Conference is, top to bottom in the football polls, as they're strong again this week. And so they will get a chance to pull off an upset coming up again. Let's see if I've got that here, and I'll take a break. And I've got so much stuff here, and I dropped everything once and picked it back up. So I do have the polls here. Wofford definitely number 5 in the country this week in the latest polls involving Southern Conference teams. So
if nothing else with the Bucks, you just got to love listening to them for Jay the Voice Santos. There's not hardly a better man in the business than that man to call a ball game. Whether it's football, basketball, or baseball, I love to hear my buddy get on there and get with it.
Yeah, he's a dandy. He back in the day, he helped me 2 years when I was doing the Bucks way back in the day. So Jay's a great guy, does a phenomenal job as the voice of the Buccaneers, no question. Express Title and Closing website one more time is
expresstc.com. Have offices Johnson City and Kingsport. Come to you any place, anytime.
In your humble opinion, this time next week we have a interim head coach at Tennessee?
Sadly, I'm afraid we won't. I think he's going to hold it out to the end of the year, as much as I hate to say that.
It's going to kill recruiting.
It is. It really is.
Appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you.
Yep, quick break. We'll be right back. The man, the myth, the legend. Look at him back.
The one and only.
Grinning like a Cheshire cat.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Livesey, the man's got this thing going. Movement Mortgage joins us next here on show number 615 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back with the Tom Lewis Sports Show. There he is. This is the five-star running back we were talking about, the blue chipper. That from the recruiting standpoint, our buddy Jeremy Livesey with Movement Mortgage and New Digs. Place is nice, easy in, easy out. I can tell you that. Right off of the, I guess it's Boones Creek Road, right here, right across literally from the Cracker Barrel here in Boones Creek. So
yes,
we're going to talk to him about this great place and his staff and all that coming up here in just a second. But got to talk a little sports. All right, I'll play. What's your take on the Tennessee football situation?
Well, I mean, I agree with Brian because I think LSU has shown us before that, if you know it ain't going to work, just get rid of them. And UT's got the money. They just got to, let it go. And, we're losing recruits. And it's already, been showing up in the last couple of weeks. So the more, in-conference games we play, the more recruits we're going to lose, and this week isn't going to help. Playing Alabama, I think hopefully they're chalking that up as a loss anyway, so it don't matter who they put in place. But I do think that if the game was, a little more, expected to be closer, it'd be a different story. But I mean, what are they, 34-point underdogs right now or something like that? So.
Well,
yeah,
you made a great point. So did Brian. So did Kevin. Everybody's made a great point about it. At some point, you got to just suck it up, count your losses.
Yeah.
Either fish or cut bait. You cut bait because at this point you're playing for the future. I mean, when these recruits are decommitting, this is your future football team, whether Butch Jones is there or not. So when these guys are saying we're not going to come now, well, that's another body that somebody has to go back out and get. So every time you get on national TV and get hammered, which I think is going to happen again this Saturday.
That's what's killing it. I said if they were in a different conference, it'd be different. If they were out west where you're not getting as much coverage, totally different world. But in the SEC, if you don't, win, you're out.
Period. End of story. So that's what's happening. We'll continue to monitor what's going on down in Knoxville. Opening night tonight of the National Basketball Association, Boston and Cleveland, and Houston at Golden State. I guess they're going to raise the banner tonight at Golden State.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The Warriors and the Rockets in Golden State, and LeBron against his old buddy Kyrie Irving in Cleveland. So NBA is here upon us, and what's your take on the National Basketball Association?
It's going to be a good season. It's going to be
a lot of changes.
It's going to be like an all-star game every night.
Yeah. I mean, who benefited, in your humble opinion, of all the moves during the off-season? Give me two teams you think it really benefited the most.
Well, I mean, Boston for one, because they did get Kyrie, and I think them, they lost some good players, but overall I think they're in better shape. And the fact that Isaiah Thomas ain't even going to be able to play till January, so I mean that kind of helps out on the Boston side. Now on the West, OKC and Houston both did very well, but I think Oklahoma City's, if they can play a good season, they can keep everybody on the 1-year contracts, get them to do extensions. They signed Westbrook to the big extension, which means Paul George will probably want to hang around now and give your Spurs a little run for their money. But Spurs, I think they just extended Aldridge's contract out, and they just need to get some young players. I mean, their average age is like 52 or something now,
Yeah.
And so they'll still win 65 games though.
You can only ride Ginobili, and now Tony Parker. Of course, Duncan's gone, so you can only ride these guys so long, and they got to get a youth movement. Of course, Kawhi Leonard is definitely the youth movement, one of the superstars. But other than that, I don't think the Spurs did a whole lot in the offseason.
They didn't. I really thought they were trying to get Kyrie, I think, at one point, but they're not going to give any assets up. And Boston got it because they've got picks galore from thanks to Brooklyn, and they're doing exactly what they should be. But everybody's playing for second right now. So
top 3 in the West right now: Golden State.
I'd say OKC, and then probably Houston.
All right, Oklahoma City and Houston. All right, in the East, who do you like?
I'd say Cleveland. Obviously is your top. Boston's going to be right up there, and I'd love to see maybe Charlotte or even like New Orleans or something like that. But I don't know if there is a third team in the East.
It's a 2-horse race
Yeah,
over there.
It really is. It's going to be your top 2 is going to be in 65, 70 win range, and then after that it's going to be like in the mid 50s or 40s. So
throw them in a hat and shuffle them up.
Pretty much.
We're talking to our buddy Jeremy lives in Movement Mortgage, where his new digs here in Boones Creek. So tell us all about it. Who's on staff, and kind of give us an overview.
Well, right now it's just me and my assistant Brittany, and we just hired McClure Boyd. He's come over from the credit union, and we've got 2 more coming over here in the next week or so. And we're looking to hire some more assistants and getting everything built up. We're just not trying to build up too quick. We don't want to overdo it and or get overwhelmed with the whole situation. But we've got roughly 4,000 square feet here to fill out. So, and it's a beautiful office. We've we took our time putting it all together, and I think it turned out pretty good.
Well, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
This conference room we're in is gorgeous. You got the big windows out here. We can see all the traffic on Boones Creek. I didn't realize, just sitting here for the 2 hours, there's a ton of traffic on this road.
Yes, there is.
Lots of traffic.
Yeah,
so,
it's a hard left when you pull out of here. It's you got to go toward the interstate.
Yep. But and of course, right here, Cracker Barrel's going to feed you some folks too. So he's got these signs coming. So once the signs are up, of course they're open for business. You've already been closing loans too, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're wearing it out.
Been wearing it out. Working out at home. Now you're working here. And so tell me the advantages of Movement Mortgage.
Well, the biggest is basically the culture of upfront underwriting. And what it is we'll take a loan application. We took one yesterday actually, and it's already in underwriting this morning. So we'll have our answer back probably early this afternoon. And it's about 6-hour turnaround time for underwriting. And as far as getting stuff clear to close, depending on the borrower themselves, how if they actually do what we tell them to, or make sure they're cooperative. We try to set their expectations up front and let them know what we need, but you can get them done in 2.5 weeks. We've got one that we're closing tomorrow that we were start to finish in 11 days.
Wow. And
you just don't see that around here, and the realtors love it. I said we've added a lot more. Our realtor base has expanded just from that, just the speed and getting stuff cleared to close in 2.5, 3 weeks is pretty good around here.
Oh, absolutely.
And
of course, even going into the holidays, you can still, at this point, we're October the 17th, for that kind of a rate, you can still, there's a rate of speed, I should say, you can still, more than likely, if all the stars get lined up, everything is done like it's supposed to, you can get somebody in the home by Thanksgiving, couldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Easily.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I've got a few contracts right now. We're waiting on them to sell their house, but they're all going to be in before Thanksgiving. And we just took one, the one we're closing Friday, we just took it the Monday before last, so it's going to be like roughly 2 weeks in a day, I guess.
Wow. So, yeah, I would think the realtors love you because they can get somebody bought, turned around. Of course, they get their money, and everybody wins because they get their commission quicker. And
absolutely.
Everybody likes working with speed, so that's one of the selling points.
Yeah.
What's another selling point besides Jeremy Livesey?
I mean, the office here, we're geared toward the purchase market, which is where we're at now. The rates are creeping up a little bit, and we have actually, I mean, the people we're hiring are all, go-getters. We're not hiring lazy people. And I just think overall it's just going to be a game changer for the whole area. So either the other lenders are going to have to speed it up and keep up with us, or maybe they want to come work for us. So we'll see.
Either way,
yeah,
you can work against me, you can work for me,
yeah,
or with me.
If you can't beat them, join them.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dad always used to say, if you work hard, whatever you do, and if the guy you're working for doesn't appreciate you, the competition will come get you.
Absolutely.
That's kind of how it works. You've seen it happen yourself, so, and I have too. We're talking to Jeremy Livesey, so Movement Mortgage is still JeremyLivesey.com, right?
Yes.
Yep. When I go there, what will I find?
Actually, I've got it redirected to our company website, so you can actually do your online application straight from your phone now. And if you need to, if you've got anybody that's looking at, especially the, I hate to say it, I'm aging myself, but the millennial crowd, they want everything to be done, with laying in bed and looking at their phone. But we've got the Easy app that we use. You can actually upload your pay stubs, your W-2s, tax returns, bank statements, all from your phone, and it comes straight to my desktop, and you don't have to leave your house. And then we do everything by e-sign. So unfortunately, we don't have to meet everyone in person. We love to meet them, but we try to cater their schedule.
So there's some folks you can close and never meet them.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, I've had a few in Knoxville and Nashville that we'll probably never meet the people in person, but we keep in touch with them through email and phone. But I've got a few closings this week, and at the closing is when will be the first time we meet them.
Actual pressing the flesh won't come into the closing. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the
way it is now. I said not how it was when I started, but that's the way it's going.
That's the culture we're in now. So, and he's right on the cutting edge, of course. So go to Jeremy. You see on the screen how to spell it, JeremyLivesey.com. And of course, Brittany's here, and now McClure's here.
Yep.
And so, if you know the legendary Wally Boyd, he's been around many, many years with the grocery business, and he's been in radio, and he's been in real estate. Wally's done a lot of things. That would be Wally's son.
That's his youngest, yeah.
Yeah, McClure. The legacy continues. So,
oh yeah,
Wally's a good guy. His father Wallace was a great guy as well. So, yep, it's all good stuff. And so, geographically, where are some of the places you've closed already?
Well, we've been blessed. This is actually a busy month for us. We've got about 21 closings in October, which is not a normal October for us. So we actually have a closing Friday in Mountain City, which I talked to the guy this morning, and I'm not sure if I've ever physically been to Mountain City, and not sure if I ever will. But I've heard good things about it, and it's a beautiful house. And we got one up in Butler, I think, in that area, and then we got a few out towards Rogersville area. So a lot of them are staying in this area, but we've branched out, and I actually have my second closing in Virginia now that we're licensed in Virginia. Closed one last week in Virginia. We got one in Abingdon that we're closing later this week. So,
awesome.
So we're spreading our wings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Getting after it. So Brittany, you got her hopping. I haven't even seen her today. That's how hopping she is. She's on the move.
Oh yeah, she's busy.
Exactly. McClure's back there as well. So great place. JeremyLivesey.com. Easy in, easy out. Brand new digs here in Boones Creek, right across from the Cracker Barrel. And so this is in the same. To get your sign up, and it's due here very soon. To get your sign up, it's in the same. Who do you want to give a plug here in this strip?
Usually Edward Jones, Mike Merritt. He's my financial advisor, so that kind of helps a little bit for. When I get paid, I just take it, give it to him, and then we're surrounded by all the wonderful restaurants, Waffle House and Cracker Barrel and Poblanos and Bob Evans. A lot of. So if you're a health nut, this ain't the place for you. But some good food.
Absolutely, good stuff. So, Movement Mortgage, JeremyLivesey.com. Of course, we talk about him all the time, and we appreciate him very much being one of our great sponsors here on the show, and show number 615, as a matter of fact. Christmas 68 days away. Are you a last-minute shopper? Or you kind of do it along the way, or?
I normally I will wait until around Thanksgiving when the sales stuff, and then I hit Amazon. Yeah, I'm a big online guy.
Not gonna fight the crowd.
No.
Not going out.
No, the same stuff's online.
If Tennessee gets rid of Butch Jones, who would you like to see the coach?
Well, I was going to hold you a sign up over there because Brian, I thought he missed up. Chip Kelly, I don't think he'll ever show up in Tennessee, and we know Gruden's not coming. And so I thought, my personal thought, I want Cutcliffe to come back. And so if they're going to try to cherry pick somebody, I think Franklin's a good coach, but I think if you can get Cutcliffe over, that might, if you want to start the rumors, that might sway Will Payton to come over and do some quarterback coaching on the side.
See, it's funny you thought, because I thought the same thing. I thought, why not Cutcliffe? Nobody's mentioning Fulmer's down there right now. They're big buddies, of course. So,
I don't see why they wouldn't go after him.
And who was the defensive coordinator? Is down at Texas A&M now. This went totally blank. He was at LSU, and he went to Texas A&M, and
the one that was at UT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
was at UT to get him to come back.
Yeah, I'm not against having any coaches come back. Randy Sanders is the only one I don't want back because the offense under him was just horrific. But I think the only thing that's stopping him from Cutcliffe is, he's 63 now, so I don't think they're going to get the long term out of him. But, if he's good, he may turn into like another, Joe Paterno or something like that and stays till they're, not here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Cutcliffe's a fantastic coach.
So it's all about it. And so coaches, the coaching carousel continues, and we'll see where it goes. But, yeah, I have thought about Cutcliffe myself because the guy loved it here.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to drive me nuts who that defensive coordinator is. Gosh, I can see him, and I cannot remember his name for nothing. He went to LSU, and now I believe he's at Texas A&M.
I know who you're talking about.
You may want to Google it here. It's going to drive me nuts.
He was not in shape. I remember that.
He's what?
He's not in the best of shape. I remember they'd show him up top and.
Yeah. Oh gosh, what is his name? He's going to look it up. While he's doing that, let me give you an updated story. Former Ole Miss football coach Houston Nutt's finally getting his apology. Ole Miss officials said Nutt released a joint statement Monday announcing they reached an undisclosed settlement that will dismiss a defamation lawsuit filed against the university. Nutt sued Ole Miss.
Chavis.
John Chavis.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say Gonzalez, and that wasn't right. So Chavis. So that, I'll finish that in a second. So that would be, re-bring them all back.
Yeah.
They were successful.
Bring
before.
back the band, yeah. I mean, and somebody mentioned Les Miles. LSU would love that. But if I was Les Miles, you're making, $6-7 million a year doing nothing? I'd keep doing nothing.
Oh, yeah. For 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
I
there
think he can do it.
Oh, yeah. He's going to ride it out. And
I don't blame him.
Sit and go to whatever he does, go fish.
Yeah,
go
he can do whatever he wants to do.
But
I'm sure LSU is just begging for somebody to hire him to offset the buyout.
Get him off the payroll.
Yeah, but if I were him, UT's not going to pay him that.
He wakes up every morning thinking, I don't know what, you'd have to break it down on a daily basis, but it's probably in the thousands of dollars every day. Just
I think he was making $150-something thousand a month, which is, you can live on that.
Yeah, divided by 30, that'd be
it's a lot.
About $5,000 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
I can do that.
So you can wake up and go, Mrs. Livesey, honey, give me another hug. We're making $5,000 a day. Sitting here, if you want to go.
I wouldn't get out of my jammies if I had that. No,
that's way too much information. You're getting visuals now.
Yeah.
He's in his movement mortgage jammies.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There probably are some actually.
Yeah. This is good stuff. I appreciate you letting me come over and
we'll get you a shirt next time. We got our own clothing line. We'll get you a movement mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
We got the t-shirts and pullovers and
love it.
All kinds of goodies.
Yep. I'll take a double X.
I will take care of that.
Movement mortgage pullover. You talking about one of those we're outside?
We got hoodies. If they go to movementgear.com, it's actually online. You can order Yeti cups, the coolers, and everything with the logos all over it.
That's slick.
It's pretty impressive.
It is impressive.
Yeah.
You're impressive. You're doing a great job, and I'm just pleased to know you. And
yeah.
I was telling Aaron Ferguson yesterday, I got Jeremy coming tomorrow. I said, "Oh, Jeremy, my buddy Jeremy, old Ferg, he likes you.
He's a good man.
He is a good man. He can tell you what, he knows his football. I got him on yesterday, and he is lights out. He knows what he's talking about.
He watches it like a player and not a fan. That's where he kind of has an upper hand on everybody else. I look at it, watch the NFL on Sunday, and I'm looking at it like a fan. Dolphins look good Sunday.
Who?
Dolphins.
The fans are in.
They beat the Falcons. Well, the Falcons let them come back and win.
Fish beat the Birds.
Yeah.
Or who ended up winning it?
Dolphins beat them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Fish beat the Birds.
At home.
There you go.
In Atlanta, so, yeah.
And the Raiders?
The Raiders are not well this year.
No. Things aren't well in the Raider Nation. So.
Yeah. They're regretting the Marshawn Lynch thing, and Carr's hurt, so you really can't do much about that.
No. Let you go, my friend. Thank you.
Have a good, man.
He's awesome. Quick break. We'll be right back. Close this thing out. There goes Miss Brittany. We are live again at Movement Mortgage in Boones Creek on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, got a few more minutes here. Let's finish the story about Houston Nutt. Houston wanted some money because he felt like he'd been defamed, and so apparently he was, because they have settled an undisclosed settlement that'll dismiss a defamation lawsuit filed against the university. Back in July, Nutt sued Ole Miss, alleging it defamed him in its handling of the long-running NCAA investigation of the school's football program. The lawsuit was dismissed in August, but Nutt's attorneys refiled the case last week. So, university also apologized for the disparaging comments that the athletic department employees made about Nutt to reporters, which is part of the agreement. So, The final statement from Houston Nutt said he only wanted to clear his name and never intended to smear the present coach, or not the present coach, he got fired, Coach Freeze, or the university. And so that is done. And so he does get a little chunk of change to ride off into the sunset. We talked about the Yankees and the Astros. Again, New York rallied from down 2-0 to beat the Indians last night. And so now, thanks to CC Sabathia, Aaron Judge, and company, the Yankees are right back in the series with 2 more games at Yankee Stadium, where they had the American League's best home record. Teams that lose the first 2 games of a best-of-7 come back to win the series only, as we told you yesterday, 16% of the time. But the Yankees' bats can get hot like they did last night. Look out. Of course, Aaron Judge, with the breakout game, hit that towering home run. I mean, this guy ripped one down the left field line, and it got out of there in a hurry. So home run again for Todd Frazier also. He got one out of there pretty quick, too, an opposite field home run. He entered with a .389 average and 5 extra base hits off Morton, the pitcher, for the Astros. And so Frazier's took him deep. And so the Yankees got a big win yesterday, 8-1 over the Astros. And so Lance McCullers goes tonight for the Astros. And again, you have, as we told you, Gray on the mound for the New York Yankees, Sonny Gray. And so on the other side, you've got Darvish for the Dodgers, and Kyle Hendricks will go for the Cubs tonight in Game 2. The first game was 5:08, the Yankees game, and then, of course, the Cubs and the Dodgers, the second game at 9:08 tonight. And that will be, as we said, from Wrigley Field in Chicago. So that's going to kind of wrap this thing up. We want to say thanks to our guest, Kevin Harmon, stopping by talking Tennessee football, Brian Malone from Express Title, and closing, also talking sports and Tennessee football. David Strickland, the soccer coach for the Science Hill girls soccer team. They're playing that regional semifinal tonight against Knox West. Dobbins Minute Travels at Bearden in the AAA. We don't have the AA and single A. We didn't get that information upon request, so we'll give you the AAA. Bearden hosting Dobbins Minute tonight. Science Hill here in Johnson City hosting Knox West, and winners will play Thursday for the regional championship. So we will come back and tell you all about that tomorrow. We'll be at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. Again, we'll be right back here, it looks like, on Friday. He wants us to come back here and do another show, and I said we can do that. So we'll be back here on Friday to hang out with our buddy Jeremy again at Movement Mortgage, and we'll get Brittany on and also McClure on as well on Friday. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Back in the saddle tomorrow. We'll be, as we said, the full show ready to go live again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. So for Jeremy Livesey, Kevin Harmon, Coach David Strickland, Brian Malone, again, we will tell you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for giving us a listen. Show number 615. Be sure and like it and share it. And we'll thank you ahead of time for that. We'll see you tomorrow from Chick-fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City. Until then, we say so long, everybody.